Hi, crafty friends. I'm Tina, the Creative Guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors. And this month we are doing the 3 layouts from Weekend Adventures Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. And some of them will be actual adventures and some of them will be everyday life. I am doing layout 1 this round. I'm going to do the left-hand side today, and then I will add in the right hand side and the load in into my album. This particular layout holds a recommended 5 photos, and I am going to be squeezing 15 in. So hang on for the fun. You know, my biggest tool is our flip flaps, and I am still trying to figure out how I am going to get that in because of the overlay. So come along for this adventure. Okay, let's get all of my little doodahs handy. I have all of these photos. We're going to muddle through this and see how this turns out. Our die cuts tell you what project they're for. And then we have our sticker sheet, and I have pre-cut all of my pieces. So let's go ahead and scooch that on over. It does suggest in the prepare to attach your photos, which I have not done yet, and to cut a piece of linen thread, which I also have not done yet. I will do that for tomorrow's layout because that is for the right hand side. It goes right there. Okay, so let's cut to the chase and get to the assembly. Yes. Sorry about that. I am still not 100%, which is why I am just loading some videos on to the YouTube channel to get caught back up from my couple of weekends of just not feeling good enough and not coughing enough to hop on. So now it says adhere 1A and B to the base page, which here is 1A. When I'm cutting, I use a pencil and write that down so I know what piece is what to make this smoother for all of us. Let's see if I can give you a better view. There you go. Okay. This is just eyeballing it today. Sometimes I measure, but more times than not, I just eyeball it, especially if I'm going to be making changes like I am on this one. Okay, next is 1B. And it is the same designer series paper, but it is the other side. And I tend to, when it's butting up pieces, I tend to do it towards my body because I do better if I'm pulling versus pushing. And then attach that just like so. Now it says attached prepared C and D, which I'm not really 100% ready for because I'm still not sure how I want to do all of these embellishments, but what I think I am going to do is I'm going to slide the top one a little higher and have the bottom one a little lower so that I can put all of this cluster overhanging the bottom one and utilize these little pieces as tabs to do my flip flap. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and attach this on the bottom. And then we will, there we go. And then, yeah, okay. We're going to attach this to the bottom of the base so that it's right about there. And then we are going to start building up this cluster now. And even that, I'm going to move to the other side. So I'm going to shift some of this over because I don't want my daughter's face covered up. Okay. So we're going to be using all of these over here. And we're going to need some, I'm going to overlay this like that. We're going to want some dimensionals. And let's start with the Explore. And I am going to powder this with the anti-static powder so that it's not sticky, because I'm going to make it sticky using the dimensionals. Okay. Now this is just in our heat embossing supplies. You can get an anti-static pouch, and I transferred it to basically a foundation powder shaker. And I did that so that I would have a little more control. Okay. Now I am only attaching the dimensionals to the ends because I'm going to be tucking some of these other accents underneath it and around it. So I don't really need the whole thing sticky. I think I will add at least 2 more though. Let's put one here, because I'm not going to be tucking all the way through. And I want some support in that middle space. Just like that. Okay. And we're going to have that overhang a little bit. I'm going to estimate that there. And I want most of the mural showing. That'll work. Okay, next on top is this little piece right here. So we're going to attach that with our Stampin' Seal Plus and tuck that behind by a bit, not a lot, but a bit. There we go. Then next is Time to Play, which is this little sticker here. And again, we're going to tuck that just a little bit. We're going to want that in towards my photo. Okay. So we're going to scooch that right up to the edge of the lighthouse mural. Like so. And then next is this little banner. Like, I'm going to put that right about there. And you see how, although this is, I want to make sure that's going to be seen. Nope, I have to have that further down. Okay, even though this is all similar, how I am shifting things along, and this is not tucking really nicely, so I am going to start with attaching this little banner. Again, with a little bit of 3D foam dimensionals. And I will add the third dimensional right here, but I'm not going to take the backing off. I want to know that I can slide things under. Okay. And I want this over. That's still really pretty. I still can journal there. And now I can tuck in this beautiful red piece. I'm going to have it just a little bit over so it's kind of centered. There we go. Next is this darker piece. And again, I'm just tucking these behind, right? And that's going to go a little tiny bit over and down and under. There's a lot of overlapping, right? So that we have a lot of dimension and visual pull. Next is this fabulous banner. And I think I want that shortened. I think it's just too long for what I'm after. I want it a little bit past this darker one, but I don't want it going on forever, right? And I'm going to be hiding it underneath another sticker. Okay, I'm going to hide it behind What of You. And then I have this little textured wooden piece, also a banner. And this gets tucked in to the side. And it's going to be a little bit shorter. There we go. And then the dark blue. And that's going to give me my landing for What of You. And some of this is going to just get attached down. And some of this is going to have dimensionals. So this gets a little complicated, but truly it isn't scary hard. Just add a couple down for support in spaces that you know will be covered. All right. Then we're going to overlay this and eyeball it until we're happy and set it down. And then there's that wonderful dimensional is holding that up. It's now supported on all sides, just like so. I will add my journaling right here. It's going to be very brief. And now let's go ahead and add the rest of our layout. Okay, so I have 3 photos I want in this particular one. I am going to have this one on top and these behind. So let's go ahead and attach the base one. To the matting. And then we will determine directions of, I think, I am that's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm going to have this on top. I want it to flip up. So, like so. And that's how we're going to land my flip flap. So let's get that out. As you might think, every time I'm pausing, I'm thinking through making sure this is really how I want it. But I think because of my Wander Wonder Repeat embellishment, I need for it to go up. And I still might have to shift some of it because of all of the things, right? So we're going to layer that there. And we're going to hang it right about there. And let's start considering adding my embellishments and stickery stuff. Okay. I'm not going to attach this down until the very, very end when I really know that's how I want it. Because that's on the sample, the Wander Wonder Repeat is on this side, and that would make this really busy. So I'm going to flip it. So let's go ahead and build up that embellishment, which is just this sticker. And we're going to actually, because most of this is kind of wasted space, so I'm not going to have it overhang nearly to that level. And this has a circle in the example. It's not popped out, but I really want that tag piece removed. I think I will like it better. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's go ahead and place this on the photo. You notice I'm taking my super sweet time because before I commit and actually push it down. Now there's this little bit that's still sticky. We're going to use the anti-static pouch and make that not sticky. Like so. And then I'm going to dust that off so that it's not all over my photo. Clean my little desk splotch here. And attach that quite nicely. There we go. And now it's nice and smooth. You see, I can run my finger on it. When this is in the page protector, it will overhang a little bit to indicate, hey, lift this up to flip. So I think that will be fantastic. And then next in the sample has this wonderful little star. It has it off to the other side, but I'm going to attach it right here. So again, it's kind of really saying, lift me up right here, folks. So I'm going to attach that down right like that. And now we're going to go ahead and attach this all down before we add the last of this batch's embellishments. And we're going to tuck this. And what I'm going to do before I set it down, you see how I'm lining up my photos so you can't really see the bottom photo, so that it's matted by the photo above it, below it, just like so. So now this is a fabulously matted photo. When it's flipped up, it's still matted and it is very cohesive. Next, we will add this little accent piece and tack that down gently and butt that down. And having flip-flopped the big bulky embellishments, it actually, I like the flow of this, okay? I'm quite happy with my change. Okay, next is Exciting Day. Goes right here in that little tabby mark, like so. And then we have these two little arrow pieces left to add. So let's just tap those in and arrow them in to the photos. So there's one and two. Like so. And that'll also add that nice little pull through, because right here it looks like a banner, but when it flips through, it's pointing to, hey, here's our scene. Fabulous. I love how this has finished off. So there you have it, layout number 1 of our 5th week of our 52-week project. And tomorrow I will be back with the right-hand side, and then we will add this in to our album. Bye for now. Have a great day. Keep on crafting and find your joy.